of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine. The other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Mariota now on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. Remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Mariota to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Telvin Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded at the 33. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Try to punch it in with Taylor. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
Oh, 4th and short, right at midfield. This is where you tell your offense, I've got faith in you guys to get me a few yards. And sure enough, they repay that faith and keep the drive moving with a 1st down.
Go!
This time Jackson will throw it. He dumps it underneath for Taylor. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now it's Jackson, and that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Jackson now. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Watch it now, Barney!
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Lucky 56. Detroit!
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make this a second down. Defensively, they better figure something out. Opening drive, he already has 4 catches.
And if you have to figure out how to stop him defensively, that usually means you weaken your defense. That means that now the offense is doing the dictating, and they should have other things open up as well.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Wesley Woodyard there on the tackle.
Detroit!
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here.
Here we go. Blue 90. Over.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that hollow metal sound is the bane of any kicker's existence, and here, that sound is going to keep our game scoreless.
And you could see him give that body English as the ball was in the air. Come on, baby, come on. But no dice that time.
Mariota and the Titans break the huddle 1st and 10 at their own 24. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll be brought down here at the 28.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. One.
Second down, Mariota rolling to his right. He gets it to Humphries. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a second down throw for Mariota. Walker with a grab, left side. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Mariota on 3rd and 2. And he's got him in, Corey Davis. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. First target, first catch, and a first down. Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
A first red zone opportunity for the Titans. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Here's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On second down, here's Henry. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Remain in a scoreless first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Throwing is Mariota. Dancing to his left. And, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jags. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. The point after try for Gostkowski. Gostkowski with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those touchdown Titans. A great effort there as the first half is winding down, and the Titans are going to add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a give to Taylor. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And the ball is knocked out, and that might be Titan football. It is.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now Mariota. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though,
Yeah.
Because you're exactly
You
right.
like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. What's that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Mariota. Throw right side, caught by Davis. Stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
Mariota now. Underneath for Johnson. And down inside the 15 he goes. First down, Titans, gain of 12. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On second down, Mariota again. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. The Titans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Mariota. Eluding the pressure right. And that is caught by Davis for a Tennessee touchdown. In for the score. And this Titans offense continues to pour it on. A diving catch for the score. He laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box, touchdown.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Here's Jackson. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Hurry up, here we go.
Jackson from the shotgun. He can run for it, and he will. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle 1st and 10 at their own 15. They begin the drive with Johnson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Back now in Jacksonville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They go to Johnson again. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Oh, design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Flush to his right. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw is Jackson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing just about on his own goal line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And the Titans getting set to go. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you know, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he'll get it down here to the 43. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and we'll still get the first down. They love being physical.
Here's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Tennessee, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll